Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Point of View.
Woo woo!
Hey, y'all. Yes, where we dive into hot topics and real conversations that matter to the culture. Tonight, Donald Trump is back in the headlines as security concerns continue to grow. And after reports of shots fired near the White House Correspondents' Dinner, people are not just concerned, they're questioning everything. Was this just another alarming incident? Or is there more to the story than what's being said? Right? So stay tuned. The discussion starts right now. Plus more hot topics you don't want to miss. You're watching Point of View. What was supposed to be a high-profile night celebrating the press at the White House Correspondents' Dinner quickly turned into chaos after a gunman reportedly fired shots near the venue, triggering a lockdown and forcing officials, including Donald Trump, to be rushed out as authorities treated it as a targeted attack. Now, the question is, how does something like this even happen at one of the most secured events in the country? Crystal.
Sips my cold tea. Nobody cares.
This is not true.
I'm just playing, you guys. No. But what I definitely can say is my mother thinks that it was a hoax.
You gonna put it on your mama?
I'm gonna put it on my mama.
Okay, not me.
My mama said that it was a hoax. Number two, when you look at everything that was going on, there was an artist named Michael Gantz.
Yes.
At first I was calling him the old guy.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting there slowly eating his food while everybody is just like looking. And it made me say, okay, this really does look staged.
Yeah.
And then you kind of look at it like, was anyone upset?
Well, his name is Michael Glantz. Glantz. And he's a top agent at the Creative Artists Agency. All right, look around the table now, creative artists. Look around the table. At any rate.
He didn't move.
First. No, I'm just kidding. But he sat in that chair the whole time and ate his food. But one, he said that he's a clean freak. He does not want to be laying on the ground, on the floor. And next he said he had a bad back. He wasn't doing it. He was like, I'm not doing it.
You know what? That is just, this is too much to unpack with this whole entire situation. But for Michael Glantz to say that he's a clean freak, didn't want to, be rushing or laying on the floor as to why he did not move with haste in the event that there was supposed to be an active shooter, it kind of leads to me that he already knew what was going on, which was absolutely nothing at all, first and foremost. And I hate to say it, but I am a major conspiracy theorist because at the end of the day, the government be conspiring, and definitely this administration. It just was too much going on, from Trump at the table, watching a magic trick, to the fact that he has said so much all over the, all the time he's talking about how much he hates mainstream media and this dinner. So now that you want to do this $400 million, $1 billion, whatever ballroom, okay, the judge said that he couldn't get the ballroom unless it was a national security issue, and all of a sudden you strategically the next day come up with a national security issue, and then come on, after you're allegedly almost assassinated, you're talking about a ballroom, not praise the Lord or whoever it is that he seems to pray to for sparing my life. You're talking about, this is why we need a ballroom?
So you're saying it was strategically orchestrated.
I mean, come on.
But let me tell you, okay, so Creative Artists Agencies are one of the biggest agencies in the world, okay? They package television shows, and when I say package, that means, they mostly have the cast and everybody already packaged into the show before it even starts to get casted, right? So this is what they do. So when I thought about that, him being a creative artist agent, and he was just sitting there, I was like, What did you know? Did you package all of this together? Not saying he did, but that's what these agencies do.
That's exactly what happened. I think it was what's his name? Michael
Glantz.
Glantz. It was Michael Glantz's show. And he might as well have said and seen, because to me, the level of urgency during that chaos was not there. Okay, first off, why did J.D. Vance why was he the first person that you guys took out? That's not it. If you're telling me Secret Service is supposed to be watching the president at all times, and the first person you think of is Vice President J.D. Vance, that already told me this is a stage performance. And then you have a man who's literally eating his whatever he's eating. And then if you see in the video, there's multiple people that are not just acting in a rave. Nobody's acting like they're scared. It's like they almost forgot he said scene to go and, act crazy. And like you said, Tally, it's super on brand. I don't know why we keep questioning it, guys. I'd rather the conversation geared towards, in the climate that we're living, what he constantly does to get the attention of the media, to put it back on what his agenda is. Let's focus on that, because we already know that he's doing this, right? We already know this is on brand for him. We already know his decisions are for him to be good in the White House so that he can get this ballroom up and running. We know this, so we shouldn't even be acting like it's a surprise.
And what's interesting, you keep saying that he was going to say "and scene," but he did say in a reel that I saw that he was just watching the show.
Okay.
Literally.
Can I note something? When you watch the Secret Service and they're supposed to be taking the president down to the ground, I swear I watched it in slow motion of some sort, because they waited until the SWAT team lunged across the stage before they actually brought him down. So I'm like, okay, are you excited that something's going on? Like, what's
And
happening?
what you're saying, at least make it believable if
Right.
you're going to run a con.
Right.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't even know how believable they would be able to make it with the fact that Donald Trump can't even move that fast in the first place. So they probably staged this scene allegedly. If it was, your mama believed that. Now, I don't know,
I believe it.
I do as well.
You can't tell me we live in the country where we have the top intelligence, where we have the top access to resources, meaning rifles and such, and you're telling me 3 assassination attempts and they never did it yet. Back in the days when they wanted to get the presidents out here, it was one and done.
Yeah.
I'm not buying.
And then on top of that, Trump is the one that is halting or stopping all of the investigations on the people that are trying to assassinate him. So who don't want to know who want their head? Who don't want to know who tried to kill you? You said don't worry about it.
The show and I need you to believe it.
I mean, but the question is, I would ask this: what does it say when our first instinct is our first reaction is skepticism? Like, we are suspicious instead of being concerned about what happened.
In patois, they would say, this is a poppy show. That is what is going on here. Okay, so at the end of the day, we don't take it seriously because it is a whole facade. It's fake. And we're living in a real live illusion. The bad part is that we all see it coming before it even comes.
Well, like the agent said, he was just watching the show. All right.
Apparently so are we.
Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson have officially called it quits after about a year of dating, and now it's going viral after Megan revealed he allegedly cheated, okay? And he admitted he doesn't even know if he can be monogamous. Now, this breakup has turned into a viral discussion online because if money, fame, and beauty aren't enough, the question is, what do men actually want?
Other men.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Just
go and say it. No?
Okay, listen. Okay.
Like, oh.
Man, okay, realistically, in this society where so many men are showing up with more estrogen than testosterone, maybe what Sunset said quietly, it may be true. But, because I am a conspiracy theorist, not the biggest fan of Meg Thee Stallion, I do feel like she got Tory Lanez locked up for no reason. God bless the man. Keep the man safe. I had to say that. Yes, he was.
I agree.
So at the end of the
I
day,
agree.
because of how she acted and carry on and continue to carry on in, that situation with the fragments of glass or concrete or whatever it was that had hit her foot, I believe that she may not be a true, honest person, and Klay just wants something else at the end of the day. And I feel like we've been conditioned to think for so long that if you're beautiful, if you're desirable, if you're successful, that you are going to be the prize. But so many times there's not alignment. Maybe we don't want the same values in life, and I feel like this is what we're seeing right now. So much of these, celebrity relationships are put together. They are orchestrated, and then when they don't work because they won't go on anyways, just like Taylor Swift and the man she stole over there, baby. We'll see how I end when the table turns, baby.
Just drop it.
I was all over the place with that, but I want y'all to know my 30 seconds, I had to use it wisely.
Crazy.
Yes, I said it.
But let me ask you this. Is it just because there's more options when you have fame, when you have influence, when you have money, there's just more options available to you?
There's more options for broke men.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
It
Broke men
doesn't
have
matter if
options.
you're a celebrity or not. I want to bring the conversation back to the root, which is what I prefer to do, right? Because we're talking about a society or just a generation of people where we're training the boys one way and training the women one way. We're telling boys their access to women. The more women they get, the more value they have. We're telling them to detach from emotions. So the less emotions they have, the better value they have as a man. And then we're expecting them to somehow, when they turn 18 and they get into a monogamous relationship, they're supposed to know how to lead. They're supposed to give emotions to this one woman. They're supposed to know how to orchestrate that. It's just hypocrisy. We live in a world where we're telling these men, you need to sleep with this many women and that's going to make you a man. You need to experience women. Well, who the heck are these men having the experience with other men? No, right? Exactly. So another woman is at the end of this. So we're training the boys to be one way, but then when they're not, we're expecting something else. I do think it's possible for men to be in monogamous relationship, but that specific man has to be disciplined enough to follow his purpose, because every man doesn't have the same purpose. If he knows his purpose, the most dangerous human on earth is a disciplined black man.
Okay, the most dangerous person on earth is a disciplined black man. Okay, and you're saying in this situation, it's like it's the raising. We're not raising men.
We're not.
Okay, and men to love and respect women.
We're not.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Sunset said 100%. But because I got to be me, okay, I also have to add on there that low key, I feel like at the end of the day, even though they've been together a little over a year now, we've seen Meg cooking for the family and all these, dishes she's been doing for the daddy and all these things. Great. Woo! But at the end of the day, I just feel like
this day with Meg.
I think that man locked up for no reason. That man didn't shoot her in the foot.
So
That man didn't shoot her in the
now you
foot.
have a target on her because you believe
I don't have a
something you
target
weren't
on
there
her.
for?
I don't even have a dog in the fight. I don't have a target on Meg, but I'm saying, who knows? We don't know what Klay could have seen on the back end. He could feel like, you know what, I'm getting in so thick.
So
who knows?
excuses for him.
He could
but
be.
He cheated on her, but we're gonna make excuses.
We don't
for him.
know what they got. Allegedly, he cheated, but at the end of the
So
day,
you're still
why is
gonna
she
make
even telling us
excuses?
that? The same way you lied on this man or said whatever he did.
Wow.
Why you telling us that
Fire
man
being a
cheated?
woman. Woo, boy,
So you
fire
said, why
being a
did she
woman.
even air
Why
it in
she
the first
telling
place?
us?
Oh my God! And then you took it back to
Please
Tory Lanez again.
Yeah, I had to.
The fact that
I'm
Megan has
Team
gone
Tory.
through a lot of pain as well, and I'm not giving an excuse for it, but I give humanity first. This woman has lost her mother, okay? She has lost her friends. She has lost a lot of people close to her. So even the bare fact that she went through this case, whether we believe it or not, the case is settled, and this man is locked up for it, right? Why are we still continuously condemning her for a decision that the courts made outside of us? This man
Because
was
it was
not
based
even
on her
legally
lies.
supposed to have a gun in the U.S., and that's why he did it. And I bet you half the people who feel this way against Meg did not even read the documents, did not even read the court
Listen,
documents.
at the end of
It's karma.
And at the end of the day,
I hope karma get every last one of y'all.
the reason why I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But the reason why we have to, speak up against it, because the same way you believe and you feel however you feel about the Meg situation, if I believe that Tory was right and there's a black man that is locked up in jail, what's wrong with me advocating for that?
Because did you read the details? Did you read the court documents?
I
That's the first question.
saw it
Did you
all.
read the court
honey,
documents?
listen.
Tory Lanez is not a part of this conversation.
yeah.
We were talking about Thompson.
Well, we got to bring him up. Free the black man. Free the oppressed
That's
black man.
crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, it just took a different turn. All right. Black Boy Max, a viral streamer, is going viral again after revealing he got a vasectomy at just 23 years old. Now that decision has people talking and questioning, but let's hear directly from him.
If it comes time for me to take kids, like people don't know, but vasectomies are reversible. There is a chance that it possibly, the procedure fails and like you can't reverse it, but there's a high chance you still can reverse it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I gotta protect myself. I gotta protect the people I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
We are feminists over here.
I like that. I like that. It's a very mature choice. I want to give you your flowers. Do you think a trend will start? Because I mean, you're a leader of the new school, man. You know.
It might, man.
He's protecting people that he's dealing with.
Right, you're protecting them from having children, but not STDs. Stop.
Okay.
playing. Stop
Let's
playing.
make it make sense.
Baby, you went and got this vasectomy so you could free ball around the city, spread your loins and sow your seeds without sowing seeds while still free areaing and not using protection.
Yeah.
Because that's what this sounds like to me.
Yeah.
You did that like you're protecting the people around you. What are you protecting them from other than you?
I'm gonna protect from pregnancy, but I'm gonna get down with everything else.
Right.
We gotta pick what side of the coin we're gonna focus on here. It's like damned if they do, damned if they don't. If we're telling men not to
You
consent-
sure are for the man today.
Oh, I'm for what side I believe is right, never for whichever side. If I don't know information, I don't speak on it. But if I know information,
make it
I
make
speak on
sense,
it.
though.
If
Well,
that
let's see
makes
what
sense.
side of the coin
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
carry on,
okay,
please.
go.
Let
We
us
talk all the time about men creating these broken homes. That is a topic of conversation all the time, not STDs. We're talking about creating the broken homes. This young man is saying, because I don't want to do that, I got a vasectomy. And the first thing we go to is, oh, but you're not doing the STDs. It's like, let's focus on the fact that he made a decision to at least not create the broken homes before we say, oh, but
he
I
didn't
still
have to
need
do
to
that
check you.
either.
Did
on
he
the
say
fact
that
But he
though?
didn't
Did
do
he
that
say that?
either.
Did he say that his reason for getting a vasectomy is because he
because
does not want to get a broken
does
home?
not want to have a baby, which is what I'm saying.
He said
Because
he's
he said
protecting
he's
his
dealing
partner.
with multiple women. It's either we want the man to tell the truth or we want them to tell the lie. If he tells the truth, we cannot condemn him for it. We just can say, oh, okay, and then not deal with it. But for a person to tell you what they're doing and to initiate the reason why they're doing, just respect it, because he's telling anybody who deals with him that I got a vasectomy so I don't have a baby.
Well, and then he said he got a vasectomy because he did have a pregnancy scare.
Yep.
Right, which then leads back to the bigger picture here that you are around here sowing your seed without a condom. There's two parts to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just one. The pregnancy was your mess up too because you did not protect yourself, which as a streamer who is 23 or 22 years old, you need to also use your platform to spread the message that yes, I got a vasectomy, but yes, I'm also protecting myself from STDs, which I want you guys to do because right now, his generation has the highest STD rate possible. They have passed the villages, which is the highest
the
HIV
villages.
rate you can
Oh
get.
yeah, they definitely.
That's another level. So then use it the right way. Don't say, oh, I went and got a vasectomy, bro. You know, I'm good. Are you good? Because you just said you had a pregnancy scare. That means you were not using a condom.
Yeah, I definitely I want to congratulate him on making a adult decision so young, and that is a sense of responsibility on one aspect of it. It's just I feel like he's also leading the new school, which where they're already at, to be just having unsafe sex. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just, it's not safe, and that is what it is, just the fact stand. But at the end of the
Raw
day,
does a good job at doing that.
yeah, but you know, it's a hard situation here. I just think that the most important thing is to protect ourselves, protect our minds, protect our body, especially in this day and age. And I have a few sisters, so many sisters. My dad has so many girls. There's a bunch of us, and they're young, from 21 to 22, 25, 27. And I am scared of the time that they are living in right now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I mean, I hear like, you know, our reaction to it. And like, but we're making an assumption, well, about his intent. I mean, maybe he is going to, you know, use protection. And perhaps, you know, this is his way of covering both bases.
With what?
Well, he didn't have to say that he's using protection, but perhaps, you know, since that pregnancy scare, he said, let me get a vasectomy, and maybe he'll wrap it up too so he don't have either problem.
well, you know, at the end of the
didn't say-
day, you know, they're fine anyways because, you know, allegedly, here we go. I was reading an article a couple weeks ago that that his generation, that age group, they're having the least babies anyways.
Yeah.
And my sisters that are in that age group, they're so much more conscious about money and their goals in life and education and how they want to live, and everything is about the matching cup with the mocha chocolate latte. So at the end of the day, they're just living in a different reality. And so, you know, I wish him and that generation all the best. My concern though is what's going to happen years from now when we need these children.
Well, I was very surprised that at 23 he was making this decision. Because to me, I would be like, you know, just like we were talking about it prior to, and my thing was just don't have any sex.
Right.
She said just wrap it up. Okay, but you know, I hope that it would be reversible for him, because what if later he wants to have children? And they say that it is reversible, but just so young to make that decision to say, I'm just going to get a vasectomy.
We can't say
That
just
was,
so young when these boys are starting to have sex at the ages of 7 and 8. And we're realizing the youngest woman right now who even had a baby, she was 7 years old and literally had a child at 7 because she got her period from all the things that we're consuming in this world, in this society. So when we come to the root of it, like I always say, we got to blame the world for what they're feeding us and what we're ingesting every single day. We can't put it on one sole party to say then, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Guys, the reality is these children are having sex, and either we're going to help them not to have sex and unprotected sex and all of that in your specific homes, but the world is not going to do that for you. So again, I'm just giving this young man, thank God that he decided to make a decision. We tell men to lead, and he's leading in the way that he sees fit for his lifestyle, because he lives a rapper lifestyle where he has all these women at his feet. And even back then, they would say that the woman would go to these basketball games and they would use turkey basters to trap these men. So he's protecting himself and his career and what he has going on because he knows what he's doing.
But I would be like with Crystal, then do both. Protect yourself from the STDs and protect yourself from the pregnancy. That would make more sense, I think.
And I think that at the age of 23, as a man, and I'm only saying this based slightly statistically, at 23, you're not really mature enough to understand the decision that you really made. And tubulation is also reversible if you really want to talk about it.
Okay.
That's what they say. Just like he said,
Yeah.
he was told that it was an option possibly to be reversed.
Yes, an option.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it will be successful for him. But you made this decision at 23. Who's to say that once he hits 30, which is usually when they say statistically that a man matures enough mentally to make decisions, that he's going to want to have children, and now you've hindered your chance at 23 years old.
Right. All right. We're going to move on to this next topic. In Miramar, Florida, a woman has died after being shot inside the apartment of a man she was reportedly dating. Okay, after he called 911 claiming she was attempting to rob him, and officers later found her inside the unit with fatal injuries. Now, with one version of events coming from him and a tragic outcome at the scene, investigators are left trying to understand what really happened in those final moments and how things escalate so quickly.
I'll say this, in the private world, and I don't condone violence, but in the private world, when you live your life abiding by private law, you have the right to face your accuser. And murder cases are usually the easiest to beat because your accuser is gone. So they have to prove beyond probable doubt that you did this crime. And so it's unfortunate for one, but I read it. I read the police filing that he did, and I'm trying to find the pieces. It's not really adding up for me. It's not really making sense. So I just need more information before I give an actual opinion, because it just doesn't make sense to me.
I really thought too, how are they going to put this together to really say that he did this without her, obviously being alive? Because once that person's gone, where's the story at? And like you said that, oh shoot, I forgot what you said. Go ahead. I had something to say. I had it go.
I know we were talking the other day about the rise in women being killed by their spouses, so we're just living in some unprecedented times. I really didn't get to read much on the story or his report. So what was it saying, like, generally?
He was basically saying he was in the home, he came, he entered, and he found her trying to rob him. But this is somebody he dealt with. So my first mind went to, how did you know she was trying to rob you? And what initial action did you feel threatened by that you had to take a gun out to just then shoot her? That doesn't there has to be communication, because I know you. You're not a stranger where I just automatically boom, boom, right? You're somebody I know. You're like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Then I was supposed to have dialogue with you. Did the dialogue get so crazy that I said something crazy, but then those are just words? That's not actions. Did she have a gun?
And we won't even know. Because she's
But
not
what Sunset is saying is it makes a lot of sense, because when you think about it, okay, you walked in, you said that she was robbing you. You had to physically take the time to take this gun out. You know this woman. You're telling me you said nothing to her. You just shot her because she's trying to rob you. That right there sounds like murder to me.
I mean, they really have to prove this beyond the benefit of the doubt without having anyone else to corroborate or to go against the story. So this would be interesting to follow to see how this is really going to turn out, because there's a lot to unpack.
We pray he had an Alexa in there, honey, because Alexa tell
Hear
her
everything, right? Wow. Well, that's a wrap for today. You can catch us here tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Point of View. Bye.